Hello everyone, you are welcome to our story class, your story class, the Auntie story class. We are very proud to have you once again. It's been quite some time, but we are proud to be back again and we are proud to have you. Thanks for subscribing, thanks for following us on Facebook, thanks for reading us, reading up our stories and for everything. May you all say hello.
Hello.
Hello. Look into the camera and say hello. Hello. Okay, I have new people today. I have Elijah and Blessing, and we're very proud to have them. And then we have our pioneer, our class pioneer. We dedicated.
Fun to have them.
It is very fun to have them, to have you and her. Tonight's class is dedicated to Writer Space Africa, especially because about a week ago I marked a week writing and staying and growing with them. So tonight we are celebrating Writer Space Africa. Everyone say Writer Space Africa.
Writer Space Africa. Writer Space
Africa. Yay! Okay. And on another note still, this story that we're reading tonight was the first story that I wrote with Writer Space Africa. It was the first children's story that I wrote with Writer Space Africa. So I thought that in celebrating them, we would share this story. The title of the story is Notorious Ronnie. Everyone say Notorious Ronnie?
Notorious Ronnie.
Wow. Do you know what the word notorious means?
Yes.
You know, Elijah?
Cowboy.
What? No! Give me a big high five! Yeah! Okay, I have a 3-year-old Elijah and he's so smart. He's that brilliant. He knows notorious means stubborn. Okay, let's get into the story and see why Ronnie is notorious. What does notorious mean?
Notorious means a stubborn person.
Okay. So, give me my bag. You're playing. Ronnie lived in a little village. Everyone, attention, please. Ronnie lived in a little village called Kawempe. He lived with his mother, father, sisters, brothers, and cousins. Whom did Ronnie live with?
His mother, father, sister, brother, and cousins.
Wow, thank you all. I have very smart people today. He had 2 sisters and very many brothers. Ronnie was a very stubborn boy and he loved his dog, Drago. What is the name of the dog?
Drago.
Drago. It sounds like a dragon, right?
Yes.
Every evening after school, when his brothers and sisters were preparing supper and cleaning, Ronnie always went on a trip with Drago. Wow. He would move around Kawempe, calling upon all his friends with dogs, and they would stand on a hill to set free the dogs running into people's homes and scaring everyone they met on the way. While they saw the dogs scare everyone, they laughed so hard, and Notorious Ronnie threw stones at the dogs, causing further trouble. Oftentimes, people went to report Ronnie to his parents, but he had trained Drago to scare away everyone he didn't know, so they could not report him. They fatally failed. Ronnie is a very bad boy, isn't he?
Yes.
When Ronnie went back home, he always shouted for the biggest portion of food, even when he had not helped in preparing it. Can you imagine? But Ronnie's mother loved him because he was very bright and performed well at school, and besides, she didn't know what they did with Drago in the evening. Bella, Ronnie's friend, talked to one of Ronnie's brothers about his behavior with Drago. Now his brother was aware that Ronnie didn't go to do his homework with his friends in the evening, but went to disturb people with Drago instead. Can you imagine? Ronnie lies that he's going to do his homework with his friends, then he goes with Drago and they chase people they disturb. And then he keeps laughing. And then he returns and asks for so much food. It's this one that likes eating. Ronnie does not cook. He does not help in cleaning. He goes and disturbs people with his dog, and then he comes and says, "Yeah, what's the biggest portion of food?" Isn't he notorious?
Yes.
Very notorious. Okay. Ronnie's father couldn't believe when he was told Ronnie was a very reserved boy and well disciplined at home. He couldn't do such a thing. Does anyone know what the word reserved means?
Reserved.
If we say he's a reserved boy,
Yeah.
is he reserved?
Yes.
Is he reserved really?
Yes.
No, he isn't. Okay. So who is a reserved person?
A reserved person is like calm, doesn't talk.
Calm, doesn't talk, very humble and all that. Appears disciplined. So Ronnie always appeared disciplined and reserved. But then on the contrary, he was very stubborn. He did very notorious things. One evening, while Ronnie was chasing after Drago and other dogs with his friends, an unfortunate thing happened. He tripped over a stone and broke his leg. My God! Ronnie's leg broke! Can you imagine? He was running and chasing after the dogs, and then he fell on a stone, and then his leg broke, and then so much blood came out. Can you imagine? So that's a bad thing to happen to Ronnie. You feel sorry for him?
But he's notorious.
He's notorious. Okay, Auntie Aine, who had always been disturbed by the boys and the dogs, was approaching. She picked him up and called the ambulance. Do people know what an ambulance is?
Yes.
Do you know what an ambulance is? What is it?
It's a police car
That does what?
that takes people in the hospital.
My goodness, give me a big fat hug. I have the brightest young boy. An ambulance is a car which takes people to the hospital. Blessing, do you know an ambulance? You don't. Do you know? Good. So Auntie Aine picked him up and called the ambulance. He was rushed to the hospital and she went home to inform his parents. Auntie Aine is a good woman, I think, isn't she? You know, Ronnie has been disturbing her with the dogs, but then when he gets an accident, she calls the ambulance and they take him to the hospital, and then she runs to inform his parents. Isn't she a good woman? See, she does not pay bad for bad. Before they could leave for the hospital, Bella came. He was rushed to the hospital and she went home to inform his parents. So Auntie Aine has told Ronnie's parents that Ronnie has been involved in an accident. So before his parents could leave for the hospital, Bella came carrying Drago, who was barely alive. When you say someone is barely alive, they are very sick. They are about to die. Barely alive, they are very sick. He had been crushed by a car while he chased after the ambulance. Drago couldn't make it to the hospital. He died. So when Ronnie got involved in an accident, when he was being taken to the hospital in an ambulance, Drago came running after the ambulance because he wanted to go with his friend. But then instead, he got hit by a car and then he also died. Drago died. Elijah, Drago died. Is that a good thing? It's a bad thing. He didn't have to die. Drago died. When Ronnie was informed about Drago's death on his hospital bed, he was very sad. He cried so much. But thanked Auntie Christy for being so kind, even when he had been very notorious to her. He apologized and Auntie Aine forgave him. Sorry, the name is Aine, I made changes. The day Ronnie left the hospital, he was surprised. His brothers and cousins had got him a new dog, which they named Drago Jr. So, Ronnie's dog died and now he has another dog called Drago Jr. What's the name of Ronnie's new dog?
Drago Jr.
Yes, Drago Jr. They made him promise he wasn't going to be notorious again and that he would always help them to prepare supper and clean. Ronnie's sister had bought him so many dolls and balloons from the money they saved in their piggy banks. Do people have piggy banks? You have a piggy bank. How much do you have in your piggy bank? Do you know piggy banks? No. That is vernacular. Okay. His bedroom looked so colorful. He apologized to everyone, and from that day on, he became a changed boy. So now we are seeing Ronnie becoming a good boy. Can you imagine? When he tripped over a stone and his leg broke, and then he went to the hospital. When he came back, his cousins and sisters did for him nice things. They bought him another dog, they bought him dolls and balloons, and then made him promise that now he's going to be a good boy. And then he became
another dog.
The another dog is called Drago Jr.
Drago Jr.
The new dog is called Drago Jr. He gave one of his dolls to Bella when she came to visit and thanked her for trying to save Drago Sr. So the older dog was Drago Sr. and now this one is Drago Jr. When his leg had healed fully and stitches were removed from it, Ronnie went to visit Auntie with Drago Jr. He bought her a precious gift from a gift shop. He brought wrapping paper to wrap the very beautiful gift he had bought. Why do they buy gifts? Blessing?
From a gift shop.
Yay! Give me a high five! No, a good high five. Give me a good high five. I'm the smartest student ever. They buy gifts from a gift shop. And what do they wrap gifts with?
Wrapping paper.
Yay! Give me a high five! And what do they buy gifts with? They buy gifts with money. Give me a high five! Okay, with his change, Ronnie bought a dog tag and a chain for Drago Jr. He promised he was always going to hold Drago Jr. by the chain so he would never run off to disturb people. And if he ever got lost, people would read his address on the tag and take him home. Do you know what a dog tag is?
Yes.
Do you know what a dog tag is, Elijah? What is it?
For putting the dog's name.
Wow, you know so much! Do you know what a dog tag is?
Yes.
What is always written on a dog tag?
The address where the dog lives and its name.
Wow, give me a high five. Where do they put the dog tag? In the neck. Give me a high five. Okay. He used his savings in the piggy bank. You see, Ronnie also had a piggy bank. You people didn't tell me if you know what a piggy bank looks like.
A piggy bank. It looks like a pig.
Oh, okay.
But it has a hole up where you can pass coins or money.
For money. So you realize that you have to start saving money in your piggy bank, such that if you want to buy anyone a gift, maybe on their birthday or when they're sick, you get money from your piggy bank and buy for them without disturbing mommy and daddy. Okay, Auntie Annie was so proud to see Ronnie. He was totally changed. She thanked him for the very beautiful gift and in return bought him a ball.
Wow.
You people love balls?
Yes.
We should buy one and play one of these days. Ronnie plays his ball with his brothers and all his friends. They always disturb people with. They are all trained boys now and everyone is so proud of them. And that's the end of the story. Everyone, did you love the story?
Yes.
Buy me some flowers, please. Okay, thank you. So today I'm not asking you questions. Would you like to ask me any questions?
Yes.
You want to ask me questions?
Yes.
From the story?
Yes.
Start. Me, I'm very smart. I'm going to answer everything.
Which gift did Ronnie buy for his auntie?
Well, The writer of the story did not write specifically, did not tell us specifically what Ronnie bought for Auntie Aine, but then she says that he bought her a very beautiful gift. We will call Auntie Aine and ask what gift they bought for her. Who else wants to ask me a question?
No one.
You don't want to ask questions?
Me. I want to ask you that. Unless I answer it, it's a question from the story. It's very bright when I know how to answer it. It's that. Who wrote the story?
Oh, Auntie Rrech wrote the story.
And then another one.
If you don't have questions for me, I'm going to ask you questions instead. Another one.
Another one is that now Lulu has become a good boy.
Ronnie.
Ronnie has become a good boy. Then what do you think if Ronnie...
No. You sit properly and ask the question. Asking like this, playing and forgetting and remembering and forgetting. You sit properly and ask a question. Put your answer after that.
Do you think that the whole family and everyone are proud of Ronnie?
Yes, they must be proud of him. Because when you become a good boy, Elijah, where are you going to?
Because I want to see.
Elijah is usually on the camera team. Today we grabbed him to attend our class, and so he has to run after. When you become a changed person, when you've been doing bad things, almost everyone hates you. People do not like you when you're doing bad things. But then when you change and you do good things, everyone notices, wow, Bella is now good. Wow, Bella is now not doing this. And then they all want to become your friends again. Okay, I'm going to call you guys back. Blessing, Elijah, come and sit. Class is still on. Class is still on.
Questions.
I ask you questions. Okay, what is the name of Ronnie's friend? No, Blessing, please. What is the name of Ronnie's friend?
Ronnie's friend.
Who comes carrying Drago when he gets involved in an accident?
Bella.
Wow. Okay, where does Ronnie live?
Ronnie. Kampawe.
So what?
It's Kawempe.
Kampawe.
But at least he tried because the word
he
is very
did.
difficult.
The word is difficult. Okay, no, please. Isabella.
I want to get your friend.
I'll put your ears. Okay, another question. What gift did Auntie Aine buy for Ronnie?
A ball?
Okay. Whom does Ronnie live with?
Who? Me.
Yes.
He lives with his mother, father, sisters, brothers, and cousins.
Wow. Did you learn anything from the story?
Yes.
What did you learn from the story?
Now I learned that it's not good to be notorious.
Okay.
Notorious because something might happen to you. That is a punishment from God.
Wow, that's a punishment from God indeed. Okay, Elijah, what did they use to take Ronnie to the hospital?
Because they used an ambulance.
Wow, they used an ambulance. Blessing, what should I ask Blessing?
The name of the dog.
Oh, Blessing, what is the name of Ronnie's dog?
I want to tell her.
She's just not
Drago
concentrating.
Junior.
Okay, Drago Junior. Okay, guys, that's the end of our class. We'll read another story some other time, and I have a surprise for you. In our next class, we'll have a teacher from Kenya reading us a story. Are you not happy?
We are very happy.
Okay, say bye bye to our viewers.
Bye.
Bye bye.